Lakeland PBS presents Common Ground, brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota. Production funding for Common Ground is made possible in part by First National Bank Bemidji, continuing their second century of service to the community, member FDIC. Closed captioning is made possible by the Bemidji Regional Airport, serving the region with daily flights to Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. More information is available at bemidjiairport.org. I'm producer-director Kelsey Jacobson. In this web exclusive, we follow Linda Paulson to the Minnesota State Fair.
It's a very warm day at the State Fair. And I always come to the Ag building first to see the crop art. So many great pictures this year. There's 350 entries. And I've got 2 entries here, and one is the lion and the cub, which I was very pleased to get a second place on. And people have been streaming by looking at all the crop art. No, I'm not surprised that there's this many people here. This is an average day at the State Fair. Since I was a kid, we used to come as teenagers. One time I had to carry a big teddy bear around when I was 16. I'll never do that again. But I've been competing for 26 years. I started with jams and jellies in 1994, and I have a wall of ribbons in my kitchen, which I'm honored to have. And I graduated to doing the flower show, bee and honey food products. So I love competing in the fair. I think the Ag Hort building is a lost historical piece that many people don't even know to go to. This is one of the best parts of the fair, and I love coming to see the seed art. I try to sneak in when I'm dropping my pears and apples off so I can get a quick peek before the fair starts, because this area of the fair does get very busy. It's packed. You got to come early in the morning. People come to see the seed art. Minnesota is the only state fair that has seed art. I think there's people from all around the country that bring their seed art here. And what a tedious task to put something like this together. And people that do this, some of them do it in such a short period of time. When Prince died, all of a sudden we had a ton of prints. And no matter the political cause, we're pretty political in Minnesota, and you can see it with some of the seed art. I just love it. It's very warm. This is the warmest day that I can remember being at the State Fair. Even when I worked here, we had some warm days, but I don't think they were this humid. I've been coming to the fair since I was a child, and this is my 55th year of entering in competition at the fair. One of my favorite things at the fair is getting to meet the people, and when I did demonstrate, that was the highlight of the day, meeting people that were interested in crop art, telling me about themselves growing up on a farm, remembering some of the seeds. It's been a family affair for all of our family for many years.
We had a family farm when I was a kid, so as a city kid I got to visit the farm, and it became a very important part of my life and who I've become today, because farming is a big part of Minnesota. This room represents Minnesota. You can see over on the other side there's the bags, that the flower and seed used to come in. Well, they used to make clothes out of those. So that's a real part of Minnesota's history. And what a better time to come to see it than at the fair.
I like how it turned out very well. I am happy about it. Second prize, yes.
She's been doing the fair for, I think, over 50 years. Some of her meticulous workmanship, you can't give her enough honor for her dedication to seed art and how good she is at it. And I've been looking at her art for a lot of years.
And I got a first on it, which I'm very happy about. I started several years ago and didn't get back to it. So then I worked on it from January, February till about August.
I'm Rochelle Hamilton. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm competing in the flower show today. I'm going to see if I won any ribbons on my fruit because I do have fruit trees and I compete with the apples and pears. Minnesota has the best fair. I was just on a Zoom with my folks from work and I took the day off today. Minnesota, the best fair in the United States. Not the biggest, the best. You bet. I'll keep competing. I'll keep coming back. I'll have to find more walls for the ribbons if I continue to compete. But I just love coming to the fair. Stay hydrated today. It's really hot. Just enjoy. It's a really fun time.
Yes, I've had a couple people I've met that have recognized me and congratulated me on my crop art over the years. It's really fun. Yes, it's really inspiring to keep on going and doing something for next year. I already have ideas for next year. I don't know what the actual one will be, but I'm thinking about next year.
Linda Paulson was working here in the times that I was here. I was here when crop art started, the first year they had crop art here. And they didn't have it in this same room, they had it in a smaller room in another area. But she got started because of her mother, Lillian Colton, and I also knew Lillian Colton. And Lillian Colton demonstrated here for 50 years and kind of got, well, really made crop art popular, I would say. This is my 77th year at the fair, so this building was brand new the year I came. And it wasn't until later that they had crop art. When I first came here, they didn't have crop art. But I caught on to helping with the crop art because of the fact that I had been schooled in weed identification, the seeds, because in the crop art, it has to be crops that are grown in Minnesota, and then it can't be any weed seeds. And so then with that, it was necessary for somebody to be able to identify when they brought them in if anybody used the wrong seeds.
It's been a hobby ever since my mother actually got me started on it because she had started the year before. And I didn't think I really cared to do it, but then I started and I just got hooked because I did get a prize the first year. My fingers just itched to do crop art. Well, it's important to have a creative outlet, and this was one that I really enjoy. I enjoy the enthusiasm of the other competitors and the people that come to see the crop art. If anybody's coming to the fair, they have to make sure that they come into the horticulture building to see the crop art because there are some amazing pieces of work.
Thanks for watching Common Ground. If you have an idea for a Lakeland PBS production in North Central Minnesota, email us at legacy@lptv.org or call 1-800-292-0922. To watch Lakeland PBS productions online, visit lptv.org or download the free PBS app. Production funding for Common Ground is made possible in part by First National Bank Bemidji, continuing their second century of service to the community, member FDIC. Closed captioning is made possible by the Bemidji Regional Airport, serving the region with daily flights to Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. More information is available at bemidjiairport.org. Common Ground is brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money by the vote of the people November 4th, 2008.